So 3 weeks ago, I had an outstanding week. So I started talking some trash. So 2 weeks ago, of course, I had by far my worst week of the season. Last week, I just gave you my picks and didn't really say anything about them, and I went 8-4. Yeah, I'll take it. So I'm 79-52 for the season. It's time for me to give you my Week 10 picks for the 2016 NFL season. Oh boy, and I guess I'll talk about them just a little bit. Thursday night, was anybody surprised that the Baltimore Ravens beat the Cleveland Browns? I most certainly was not. No way I was going to pick Cleveland in that particular situation. Will Cleveland win a game? That is a legitimate question to ask at this point in time. And Cleveland Browns, how's my ass taste? For you and your fans especially that tried to sit there and justify not picking Carson Wentz and trading down. All the picks in the world don't matter if you don't know what the hell you're doing with them. And when you have the chance to take a franchise-changing quarterback, you do that. Now, of course, the Browns will probably try and figure out the rest of the year if Cody Kessler is their guy because they're stupid, and or they will try to trade for Tony Romo in the offseason and not really address the long-term issue at hand because, again, the Cleveland Browns are stupid. And hence, that's why they're winless. That's why they're winless. Why anybody would schedule them for a primetime Thursday night game is beyond fucking me. I mean, you really think Baltimore and Cleveland is going to be the type of game that excites the masses? Give me a fucking break. So anyways, I've started off the week 1-0. Let's go through the rest of the picks. You've got Green Bay going to Tennessee. I will take the Packers over the Titans, although the Packers, frankly, really haven't looked that good. They need to get some type of balance from somewhere, somehow on offense, take some of the pressure off of Aaron Rodgers in the passing game, and keep the ball in the offense's hands because that defense, especially in the secondary, is kind of beat up right now. But I will take the Packers to beat the Titans. I will take the Broncos to beat the Saints in what in theory should be a pretty good matchup against one of the league's best offenses versus one of the league's best defenses. It should be a fun game of contrast in styles, and we'll see if Trevor Siemian can put up some big numbers against that porous Saints defense. I'll take the Rams over the Jets, although now that Bryce Petty's starting, watch him win this game, and everybody will talk about, see, Bryce Petty should have been the starter all along. Oh, give me a break. The Rams got to win one at some point in time. Do they? On second thought, no, fuck that. I'll take the Jets. Oh my God, does it matter? No. One of the interesting early games is going to be Atlanta traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. It should be a good matchup. The Falcons are without Tevin Coleman. Wentz has struggled a little bit in recent weeks. It should be a fun game, but I will take the Falcons to beat the Eagles on the road. I will take the Buccaneers to beat Chicago. I will take the Redskins to beat the scuffling, struggling Minnesota Sam Bradfords. Tell me how my ass tastes there, too. I'll take the Carolina Panthers over the Kansas City Chiefs, and maybe the Carolina Panthers can start to string together some victories and get themselves some momentum and become a factor in the second half of this NFL season and get themselves into playoff position to where anything could possibly happen. I'll take the Jaguars over the Texans in an AFC South shitfest. I'll take San Diego over Miami. Two teams that are actually playing pretty good football right now. Two teams with quite a bit of momentum, and two teams that, a victory in this game puts them right in the mix of the wild card race in the AFC. Who'd have thought we'd been talking about San Diego, Miami potentially being in this position? And just in general, that entire AFC West is outstanding. The AFC West, the NFC East, those divisions have proven to be the two best in football this year, and I don't think it's close, and I don't think anybody would assert that it's close. I'll take the Cardinals to beat the 49ers in what should be a David Johnson showcase. The featured afternoon game, for all intents and purposes, is going to be Pittsburgh hosting the Dallas Cowboys. At least for now, Dak Prescott is still the starter for Dallas. You've got the Steelers coming in at 4-4, losers, I believe, of 3 in a row. So they're scuffling. They really, really need this game. Whereas the Cowboys could afford to potentially drop one here. They're 7-1 now. A victory here puts them to 8-1, and man, really puts them in a strong power position to control their destiny for home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. But even a loss here doesn't do a ton of damage to them. This is kind of a game they could afford to throw away a little bit. But I think the Steelers need it more. The Steelers want it more. They have to have it more. And now that the Steelers and Big Ben will be playing a good team, you'll see them play as such. And that's the frustrating thing when you watch the Steelers sometimes. This is a type of team that when all the pieces are in place, they could give the Patriots a run for their money in the AFC. But when they play bad teams, they play down to the level of those bad teams and consistently get beat. But here in this spot, I will take the Steelers to beat the Cowboys in what I hope will be a really good game. Just like the Sunday night game, you've got Seattle, New England. This has got to be a good game. The NFL needs some featured games to be really, really good. Really, really good. They need Atlanta, Philadelphia to be really good this week. They need Pittsburgh and Dallas to be really good this week. And they most certainly need New England and Seattle and all that comes with this matchup to be really, really good. We'll see what happens. I expect it will be a good game, and I hope it will be a good game, but I will take the Patriots to beat the Seahawks here. And then on Monday night, a game that has a chance to potentially be good or potentially really stink. The Bengals traveling to New York to take on the Giants. The Giants are maybe trying to find their way a little bit, but the Giants are the type of team similar to the Bengals. It's kind of interesting. They're a mirror of each other in some ways. They have some explosive talent. A.J. Green on one side, Odell Beckham Jr. on the other side. They have quarterbacks that could be good at times, and Andy Dalton and Eli Manning, and other times that could be incredibly frustrating to watch. But these are teams that shoot themselves in the foot and have a costly turnover, a costly penalty, a costly decision. Both of these teams seem to be afflicted by it. They're like AFC, NFC mirrors of each other in many ways in terms of the way teams are constructed and the output and ultimately what they do sometimes to shoot themselves in the foot. In this game, I like the Bengals a little bit more. But hopefully, again, and I say hopefully because God knows we need it, hopefully this will be a good game too. Although at this point in time, the way this NFL season's gone in terms of the quality of the product on the field, this could be another crappy week of NFL football. Oh boy.